Leslie, I bet we catch those animals in a little bit. What do you think? Let's talk about those at the end of this episode. What do you think?
Yeah. A little foreshadowing.
A little foreshadowing going on there. Digital friends, welcome to Zoo EDventures today.
Yeah.
Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. Always so nice to see you. In front of the camera today, we have
Leslie.
Steve. And who's behind the camera?
It's Brett. Hi.
Brett. So today you're going to see actually a lot of us involved in this episode.
Yes.
So you're going to see a lot of things going on in this episode, which is cool. But this is Adaptations
4, right? 4.
Adaptations 4.
We weren't lying when we said that we could make a ton of things.
Keep on.
Yes.
Have you enjoyed the Adaptations presentations? Have you? That's been kind of cool. Hope so. It's been kind of fun to kind of go around and show different things for each animal. Adaptations, you want to tell them what adaptation is?
Adaptation. So the way that I explain it is it's something an animal has or does, because there's also behavioral adaptations, which we've talked about before.
Yeah, good point.
That kind of allows them to survive in their natural habitat. Every animal has their own little niche, so how they fit into the greater world.
I love it. It's like you're a teacher or something.
Sometimes.
You've done this before.
Never.
So we have some...
First time.
That is not true. So we have some really fun things to share with you today on Zoo EDventure. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Hang tight, stay tuned, and watch. Leslie.
Steve.
Antlers and Horns.
Yes, we are
Why
here.
are you laughing? That's how we roll.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are here. You, Brett, behind the camera, not antler or horn.
Yeah. Well, I mean horn, but a different type of horn than we're going to talk about.
We're going to talk about.
So no rhinos today. You can look at them, but we will not talk about them.
Holding them, carrying them. Look.
But why are we
butts.
here? So we were trying to get to a place where there was an animal with the horns that we're talking about, but you can't see them. No. So we thought at least we would have some pretty cool rhinos behind us.
They're way back there.
Oh, and now they're running away.
But we were talking about, so it's all about adaptations.
Yes.
And we're trying to get to different types of adaptations. And this one's kind of confusing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For a lot of people. Antlers and horns. Digital friends, you know the difference? Do you know the difference? Are you sure? Should we share?
Let's give them a second.
All right.
Ruminate in it.
Ruminate, antlers. No, nice. Good job. I like that.
See what I did there?
That was kind of cool. Very nice.
All right. I think we gave enough time.
Deer have... Brett, do you know?
Yes.
What do deer have?
Antlers.
Nice.
Thank you.
And where'd you get that? Where'd that come? Where were you hiding that? Antlers.
Magic.
It was magic. Antlers. White-tailed deer, probably. One huge difference: all made of bone.
Yeah.
And they have points or tines. Think about if you are a hunter, or if you know hunters, when they say they were able to get a deer, they talk about how many points it has. How many points were on this deer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know if they count that or not.
I don't think so.
So that's 8. Teacher Lauren, we have a friend today. Teacher Lauren's here. Hello, Teacher Lauren. Thank you very much, Teacher Lauren. That was a great job.
Fantastic.
We're done with you, Teacher Lauren. That was great. Thank you. Whoa! That's as big as you, Leslie.
Yeah,
That's as big as you. Animal from, what animal was that from?
Sorry, Steve. Not trying to poke anybody's eyes out today. This is from an elk. So yeah.
Wow.
So the bigger cousin of, the deer. But...
Still in the deer family?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, still in the deer family. So still solid bone?
Yes.
And do you know how we got this?
I went to the closet.
Well, yes. But originally...
Oh,
yes,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
No.
Before the closet.
I do not.
This was originally on the elk. I believe this is Tommy's, correct?
Oh.
Yeah. So it's not
Nice.
like we were like, hey, Tommy, give us that.
No.
Tommy just loses them every year because
That's right.
antlers fall off the head.
They shed them, don't
Every
they?
year. Shed them every year.
Very cool.
So we were
Nice.
able to just go, thank you.
Very
We'll
cool.
take this. We'll use it for biofacts. Sometimes they use it for enrichment for other animals too, which is pretty neat.
Enrichment. What do they do? What would they do for the other animals? What do they do?
Well,
with
I mean, it's hard bone.
Yeah.
So think of if anybody has any pets out there, dogs need to kind of keep their teeth clean. Cats, sometimes they need to chew on
it.
things. Dogs more. We can give antlers to dogs.
Nice.
So animals, this is a natural way to help them kind of clean their teeth a little bit too.
I love it.
Let's give them something to chew on as well.
Cool. Would you mind holding on to that for a second?
Sure.
Teacher Lauren, could you hold?
Paging Teacher Lauren.
Can you hold that for a second? We're done with that. I just needed you to take that out of my hands for a second. Thank you, Teacher Lauren.
Because
Here is a horn. No points. No tines. And hollow. 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 Wow. That was crazy.
and it doesn't even look like bone. So what is it?
No. This, I bet you guys can figure it out. What if I told you you're part bongo horn? Sort of.
What part?
Hair? Fingernails?
Okay.
This is keratin. This is keratin. Anamorphs. Going way back when.
That's a nice call. Called anamorphs.
So yeah, horns grow on the same spot of the animal. They're on
Similar
the head.
purposes.
Similar purposes. Protection of individual. Protection of offspring, maybe. Protection of food source. So a lot of the same job being done by this adaptation of the animal, but totally different process of how it comes about. As Leslie mentioned, this is all bone. The horn is not quite all bone.
Yeah, it's hollow.
Check
I mean,
this
right
out
now.
too. Teacher Lauren, we need you again, Teacher Lauren. Thank you. Teacher Lauren is she's a volunteer teacher. She's kind of learning how we do things here at the zoo. And we're happy to have Lauren with us today. But this is cool. These are Thompson's gazelle. So as you saw on the bongo, hollow.
Do you want me to hold
Oh,
Muppet?
would you mind?
Sure.
Thank you for helping out. Hollow, but boom. Look at that. So the horn has a bony core at the very base. This never shed.
Correct.
That
yeah.
shed.
This is
Another
actually
huge difference.
one of my favorite facts about horns
got?
or antlers is that it's the fastest growing bone because it
Uh-uh.
regrows every single year, and this has to regrow.
What?
2 of these, yeah. So when it's in that velvet, it has that little kind of like cool coating over it, and all those blood vessels. It's growing incredibly
This
fast.
grows in a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's in a year.
I mean, less than a year because they shed them every
Kidding
year.
me.
So.
Oh, good point. That's a great point. And these are on the animal's head the entire life of the animal.
Yeah.
Now they can be mechanically removed. They can be kicked off or broken off, and that's one thing. And if they do that, a lot of times they won't grow back. Here at the North Carolina Zoo, you might see some of our kudu and even Thompson's gazelles who have messed up or broken or even missing horns. That's what happened. They got literally removed. Now, we didn't do that. The animal might have done it. So yeah, one of the differences. So adaptation, horns and antlers, but same process, cool, difference, where they come from and what they look like. Antlers and horns, adaptations of animals. Adaptations and flamingos.
All right, you ready? Let's flamingo with our adaptations. I'm sorry, digital friends.
That was fabulous.
No, I don't think that was fabulous, but okay. We'll try.
New
Anyway.
stuff coming down the road. So one really neat thing about flamingos is that they are filter feeders.
Right.
And I wish we had a skull who would really be able to...
We can all do it together. You
You
ready?
have a skull?
Yeah. Well, no, but I have a way that we can all do this together, okay?
Okay. You've got the way to
Digital
demonstrate
friends.
this?
What we're going to do is we're going to pretend our hands are basically kind of the whole skull. Like, this would be the skull kind of looks like this, right? You can see the birds. Most of them have their faces tucked in. But,
Okay, yeah, a little kind of tip at the end.
this
Okay.
is more, what I'm doing is more the beak, not the whole entire skull.
Okay, the
basically.
beak. This is the beak, and that's what the feed said. So this helps them to filter feed. you
Right,
say.
yeah.
Okay, so there's the beak.
What they do is So everybody, you'll kind of do your hands
Oops,
like
sorry.
the...
Kind of curved like that?
It's curved, like
Okay.
the beak of the flamingo.
Gotcha.
And then they dip it into water.
Dip, 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 dip,
And
dip.
they kind of move their
Like that?
mouth. And it kind of helps bring water up.
Yeah.
And they can filter through things and get whatever they need.
So the little microscopic foods
Yeah.
are in, they're being kind of caught.
Right there.
In
And
there.
they're able to get, and not taking like a huge scoop of water and
Gotcha.
trying to swallow all of it, basically.
And we learned, did we learn with them that they get the color, their pink color as adults comes from the food that they eat?
Yeah.
So that they're able to get some of that food.
Yeah, so like little shrimp,
Neat.
little microbes.
Gotcha.
That's how they're able to get it.
You guys able to do that?
Very cool. You too can be. Because you can also be...
I like that. That's
You might have had a
Oh,
demonstration.
let's
He was
see.
thinking about it. He played in the water a minute. He might have just been getting more water for his feathers.
Which is interesting too. So he's using that beak. That beak is a multi-tool, basically.
looky here. Look like he's building. This could possibly kind of like be building a nest
Yeah. So
using that beak.
the adaptation of that bill is definitely to help filter feed, but also it's like a multi-tool. So we can see here that they're taking that beak and fluffing up their feathers and preening or grooming all their feathers to make sure they're in the perfect place, to help keep them safe, warm, all those types of things. And then the cool one over here is this one laying down. It looks
Yeah.
like it's building kind of like a little nest or something and using that beak to be able to grab up. And they're still kind of doing that little like thing that we did with
That
our
little
hands.
agitate, yeah, that kind of back and forth.
The open and closing.
Nice.
So yeah, filter feeders, but also multi-use tool.
Very cool. The only other thing I think is kind of fun to share, you saw we have one demonstrating that as we speak, that they actually stand on one leg. Digital friends, those of you that are capable, because I wouldn't be able to do that very well anymore. You stand on one leg,
What's this one gauging?
and they're very well balanced in there. And that balance comes from the fact that's the way the body is built. And if they lifted up that leg, they would fall down.
I mean, because no legs would be on the ground.
Right, exactly. So
Is that what happened to all the ones that are on the ground?
they're resting. They're resting.
They
Cool.
tried.
So flamingo adaptations.
Pretty awesome. All right, we have made it to Kid Zone.
Kid Zone.
We're not in Kid Zone area, so if you're watching this and you're like, that doesn't look familiar, we're kind of behind Kid Zone.
Yep.
To meet one of our animal ambassadors, right?
We have a very special guest coming in today.
Very special.
April.
Paging Keeper April.
Keeper Lemons.
Keeper Lemons.
Keeper
Please report.
Lemons.
Please report to
April.
the backup area
She was supposed to
of. What do you, she scared me.
What?
You're the tortoise.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. come to us. Who is this little friend?
Well, they don't have a name yet, but it is an African pancake tortoise.
Pancake Tortoise.
Pancake
That is
Tortoise.
super fun. I'm assuming flat shape,
Yes.
like a flat pancake, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why don't you name them Syrup? Butter?
I'll have to ask my boss.
Bacon? Eggs.
Biscuit.
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 Very good name.
All right, so an amazing little critter, that's for sure. And a pancake tortoise, you said. We love our pancake tortoises.
Yeah.
All about adaptations today. So being flat is a wonderful adaptation for them. They're able to hide. They can get away from predators very quickly. Because, April, you told us something really kind of fun and exciting. They're actually one of the fastest tortoises.
Yes. you can
Oh,
see
I didn't
how
know that. That's
squirmy
really
he is.
neat.
He is squirmy.
He's definitely, he seems like he could take off, like, you know.
Yeah.
He has got nice, strong limbs, it looks like. And here's the thing, though, Steve.
What you got?
I'm so used to turtles and tortoises not looking like this. So
Right.
this is,
He's squishy.
he is very flat. And that he can, my thought, okay, so here are my thoughts. Help me
Okay,
through this.
we'll get you through it.
Okay.
Here we go. Ready, Chelsea?
Digital guests, you can also help me get through this too. Just thinking out loud.
Out loud.
Okay, pancake tortoise, it's flat.
Flat.
it can crawl into small crevices.
Yep. And it can kind of wedge himself in those rocks.
Okay, that's good. But usually their shell is like if a turtle shell is kind of round or it's super hard, so wouldn't it like just hit it and not be able to squeeze underneath?
That's a great thought.
Okay.
But their shells are squishy. There's like little holes
Whoa,
in the bone.
Whoa.
Hey, I just call it as we see it.
It's true, literally, right?
Well, you know.
Because I've seen it sometimes where it breathes and its shell actually moves.
Everything's moving.
And I was like, what's wrong? But it's just an adaptation that they have.
So we're not going. Of course, we're not going to do it. But if you were to smush on him, his shell actually gives more than like a box turtle shell. Christine is supposed to bring us a box turtle. Christine.
Paging Keeper Christine.
Christine, keep her cheek.
Keeper Christine.
Everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Need to keep her cheek. She said she didn't want to be on camera, so we got to bring her on in. Get out of
They
here.
made her be on
Get
camera.
out of here. Thank you very much, Christine.
Yes, this is what I'm used to.
It is amazing. I love working in education because we can really have some fun. So, by the way, Keeper April and Keeper Christine, keepers here of our animal ambassadors. So that is the difference in the shell. So can you tip him just a little tiny bit?
Yeah.
We don't want to do much. But you can see the huge difference, digital friends.
Yeah.
This is an eastern box turtle that you're probably familiar with. How many of you have seen a box turtle? Give us a thumbs up for those of you who have seen a box turtle out there. And about some of you probably even saved one. If you saved one, how about a heart? So box turtle, and then the pancake tortoise. Very, very different. And if I return, we're not going to do it with a pancake, of course, but you can see there's no holes, there's no gaps, there's nothing in there that would make this is not a squishy shell. I don't want to break y'all's shell, but this is not squishy.
Yeah.
I can push on it, you can knock on it. It's not squishy at all. I can't bend it. You guys might not be able to see April's moving. Don't watch Pancake.
You can't.
Don't watch.
Do not let Steve touch the pancake tortoise, April.
You're banned.
I'm banned, ladies and gentlemen. That's no fun, digital friends, but I guess it makes sense.
Yes.
But again, no gaps, no holes. And if you were to see a pancake turtle's shell, maybe you could look it up, digital friends. You'll see there's gaps and spaces in the turtle's shell.
That is pretty
Tortoise's
amazing.
shell.
Tortoise's shell, yeah.
Thank you, Christine.
The good thing is all turtles, not all tortoises, or all tortoises are turtles, but not all turtles are tortoises, because it's like the group is called the Testudines.
Testudinae.
Testudines.
Testudinae?
The turtles.
Right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you.
April's like, you said it'd be 3 minutes. So a really amazing animal. It's really kind of fun to share with you. An animal that you guys may not have seen before, and a shape you probably wouldn't recognize. You go, wait a minute. Pancake tortoise, much thinner, very fast, and that shell is actually full of holes or gaps, giving it more of a flexibility so they can run very quickly, and they can actually scamper up and down rocks and wedge themselves in between rocks to escape danger.
Everything you ever thought about tortoises is the exact opposite with these guys.
Well said. Very well said. Pancake tortoise.
All right, Steve and Chelsea, we're at Aviary, which means we're going to learn about some bird adaptations. Woo! What bird?
No, wait.
What bird are we going to learn about?
No, not the bird.
not gonna learn about
Chelsea,
birds?
not the bird. No, not the birds.
What birds?
Not the birds. Chelsea over here. Chelsea over here.
All right.
Yes, right here.
What am I
Right
looking
here.
at?
See what I'm pointing at right here?
Yeah.
See what I'm pointing at?
That's a lot smaller than what I was just on.
Well, but the really cool thing is, it's a vine. Digital friends, does it look like anything you've seen before? This plant right here. Does that look like anything you've seen before? I'll hold this branch down out of the way.
Looks like a plant.
You are so... Sometimes it's amazing, Leslie.
That's why she gets paid the big bucks.
I did
He's
it!
paid the big bucks. That is a pitcher plant.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, like the
You
little,
see it?
kind of that little round part at the top. And it looks like kind of the lip of a pitcher.
I'm so sorry.
And then at the bottom. I see. Very cool. So what about pitcher plants, Steve?
So obvious, no roots here. There's no roots on that pitcher plant, right?
That's really interesting.
So just like pitcher plants that live on land, this pitcher plant is catching insects.
Oh, is that why it has that shape?
Exactly. So it's cool. The insects will come in and land at the top, and then they slip and they fall into the bottom. and they get digested down there in the bottom of that, which is kind of neat.
And is that why they're called carnivorous plants?
That was the next thing I'll say. So the adaptation here, no soil, no good land to grow out of.
Okay.
So they're getting their nutrients by catching bugs.
That is pretty astounding.
Carnivorous plant, like you mentioned. I think it's so neat.
So we're an aviary, but
Yeah.
are there carnivorous plants in North Carolina? Is this just like a rainforest thing?
As a matter of fact, there are carnivorous plants in North Carolina.
Very cool.
We have pitcher plants that are terrestrial. They live in the dirt.
Okay.
They do the same idea, though. They have the same shape, and plants or animals get kind of lured to the top by a smell or by the liquid, and they try to find it. They slip in, they can't get out because there's little hairs that are pointing down, so the animal can't get out.
Okay.
We also have two really cool other carnivorous plants. We have the magnificent Venus flytrap.
Oh, I love those.
Aren't those so cool?
Yeah, they're like massive, right?
And they are that big.
That is not massive.
They're not massive. Everybody thinks they're these massive, and they're not. They're tiny little critters. They slam shut.
I guess I did learn about Venus flytraps from the Little Shop of Horrors, so.
That was a really big flytrap.
Okay, that's a really big one.
But there's there are some other carnivorous plants. There are sundew that are real sticky, and the animal gets stuck in it, and they wrap around it and digest it. There are like a wart, like a bladderwort kind of thing. It sucks the plant, sucks the insects in. But pitcher plants and Venus flytraps are two of the really common ones that people are familiar with.
The iconic ones.
And they are found in North Carolina.
Very cool. So, okay, you were saying that the reason they have to eat like insects or invertebrates is because the soil they're not able to get the nutrients from the soil.
Exactly.
So, I know a little bit about I know a little bit about North America.
You know a lot about North America.
But I know a little bit about North Carolina too, and the habitats, and the really sandy part of North Carolina, the sand hills. Yeah. I've heard doesn't have a lot of like nitrogen or like a lot of nutrients in the soil. So am I right in believing then that that's probably where these types of plants could be found?
Wherever you can find those types of soils that just don't have a lot of, so you like the Venus flytraps, you also find those a little closer to the coast.
Okay, yeah, that's where that sandy soil is.
Find them in that sandy soil.
Very cool.
And this is kind of neat. And Chelsea, if you can do us a favor, if you kind of scan down, you can kind of see there's other pictures down there as well.
Right, it's pitcher, not picture.
Pitcher.
It does sound like
P-I-T-C-H.
Picture a little bit to
me.
me.
No, great. Thank you for saying that because I can get a little bit.
Because of the shape, right?
It's that shape, 100%.
Well, we didn't learn about birds in the aviary, but this was pretty spectacular.
Isn't that cool though? I think it's kind of neat. One of our friends, Jonathan Deal, taught me about that.
Shout out Jonathan Deal. You've seen him on our Zoo EDventures before.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's next.
I love a hognose snake.
I love a hognose snake too.
Look at that nose.
It's so cute. Come on, it's cute.
It's poking up like that.
Mm-hmm. It's poking
up. Where they get
their
name from, right? Hognose. They have kind of a blunted snout there.
And this one's a western hognose.
Oh,
there are eastern hognose, right?
Gotcha. All right.
I believe we have one in our
swamp.
Yes.
You're right, 100%. 10 points to you today.
But I like this one because it has like a really cool pattern. Anyways, but that's not what we're talking about.
That's right.
Once again.
No, that's a wrong, different adaptation. What is that noise?
It's the kookaburra. So I hope everybody understood, because the kookaburra just talked about the adaptation of the snake.
Yep.
So
I think we're good?
I think the kookaburra really was able to say it in such a succinct and just really effective way.
Really got to the essence of the hognose adaptation.
But
I didn't understand it.
Okay, well, for those of you who cannot understand,
Chelsea probably can. Chelsea, do you understand what the hognose said?
The hognose?
Yeah, not the hognose, kookaburra.
Yes, absolutely.
Gotcha, okay, good. Well, so if Chelsea knew,
yes,
but for the rest of us,
yes,
that are not bird nerds.
All right, so hognose snakes tend to dig.
They dig?
They live in burrows
Is that one of the reasons the
underground.
nose is kind of...
Exactly.
Nice,
So
okay.
that
That's
little
one adaptation.
nose is kind of like flattened and shaped, and it's like a shovel.
Like a shovel.
So they can kind of take that nose and dig into the ground,
Nice.
basically.
So that's a great adaptation.
Yeah.
So was that why you wanted to come talk about these guys?
Well, I also wanted to talk about them because they're one of my favorite snakes in the world.
Really?
Because they are great actors. Did you know that?
They're actors.
They're fantastic actors.
Do they have their card?
If they might be part of SAG-AFTRA.
Really?
Maybe that'd be really neat if they are. But they're very good at faking death.
Wait. They fake death?
Yes.
I thought death was kind of a thing.
It's finite. They pretend that they're dying.
Oh,
Because
really?
think about all those actors in the movies aren't actually dying.
Good point.
When they are faking it. So
Right.
so the Western hognose snake is very good. It will even flop on its belly. It'll kind of like flail around.
Really?
And make it very long and dramatic. Yeah.
That's fun. Now this one looks pretty not that.
No.
This one looks pretty good.
Well, why do you think they would do that?
Play dead?
Yeah. What's the purpose?
Of playing dead. Well, you're supposed to. Sometimes I've heard you play dead when you're around a bear.
Okay.
Because they won't eat you. They won't do anything more to
yeah.
you. So you play dead, and hopefully it ignores you.
Right. And think of opossums, right?
Right.
They also kind of play dead.
Yeah.
So
kind of get away. You don't mess with me. I'm dead.
pretty much,
Might be
yeah.
sick.
Pretty much. Like a lot of predators aren't going for things that are already dead.
Okay.
Yeah, there's scavengers out there and
Yeah,
stuff,
sure.
and things that do eat actual dead animals. But for the most part, predators are hunting and killing their prey.
Nice.
And so it's
So
kind of
playing
one of
dead.
those. What I say is, they call it's the fight or flight reflex,
Sure.
and it's basically meant to like save yourself. So there's also faint or play dead.
We need to add that in there.
Fight, flight, or
faint. What
faint.
the heck?
Yeah.
Awesome. So hognose snakes. What a great adaptation. Love it. You wanted to come to Seabird?
Of course, I want to come to Seabird.
It is cool in Seabird.
It is nice when it's warm outside to come into Seabird, I will say, because they're cold weather seabirds basically, but.
Got to keep the water chilled and everything. But that's not
that's-
why we're here.
yes, no, that's not
that's a
why.
whole nother episode. That's habitat enrichment.
Very
This is
true.
all about adaptations, and you wanted to come to Seabird.
Yeah, look at this.
Welcome.
So here you can see this is an auklet that Chelsea is showing. We also have puffins in here and mirrors, and they're all seabirds. So, like we said, cold weather seabirds. And while this looks kind of funny, it's actually giving you a great view of that kind of two-tone color, right? They're bright white on the bottom, much darker, kind of like a slate gray or black on the top, right?
Right. Looks like the bird's not cooperating too together.
Which I will say, this bird right here, right now, is making sure all of its weight or its feathers are waterproof. So that's why it's kind of it looks like it's like having a grand old time, just like swimming around and stuff like that. But this is actually really important for them to survive in such cold, wet water.
I see. Well, that's a good explanation. Yeah.
But that's a whole nother.
Again, another
A
story.
whole nother story. But we want to talk about that called counter shading. You've heard of counter shading,
that's
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of animals have counter shading actually,
Gotcha,
but
okay.
it's really easily seen in like penguins and seabirds and stuff like that.
So Chelsea was showing the mirror there.
Oh yeah. So Chelsea has a good view of that bright white belly.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Steve? Why the light belly and the dark kind of top?
Well, I know that in some of the terrestrial animals, some of the animals that live on land, not on water, their bellies are lighter. So if they're climbing, they kind of blend in if the animals are looking up into the tree.
Ding, ding,
So is
ding.
it kind of the same idea here?
Yeah, I mean, look at it. It's in this water column, right?
Yeah, right.
There could be predators above it.
Okay.
There could be predators below it, or even prey. So, like, if it was hunting for fish.
Oh.
If you are below it and you look up, blends in with the sky because it's lighter.
Right.
If you're above and looking down,
Just like that.
Yep.
Nice job,
Then
Chelsea.
it is darker, blends in more with the underground. So,
Okay.
looks like the auklet is finally like
Kind of
good
tough.
with its waterproofing
water.
now.
And like Chelsea, they're showing them a picture of the puffin. And again, you can see that white belly, as you mentioned, and that's for when they're in the water and animals looking up at them. And again, the dark, when they're on the surface, may be looking down. If a bird of prey or something is looking down.
And what is that called, Steve?
That is called counter shading.
Great job!
Counter shading.
Remember, ding, ding, ding.
Make sure I was paying attention.
Yeah.
All right. We got some more things to share?
Oh yeah, let's go on.
Let's move on, yeah. Wow. I don't know what she's filming, but we're over here. Thank you, Brett. Hi, Brett. Hi, digital friends. How's everybody doing? Did you enjoy the episode?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I mean,
Did you
it
have
always is. And we probably can still keep doing this. So I'm sure there will be more adaptations. In fact, I need to adapt right now because
Why is that?
it's just...
It is really bright. And Brett, why'd you make us sit here?
Oh, so much
Brett,
better.
it's really hot. And the sun... Just so digital friends see, this is like one of the hottest days ever, at least this summer.
Yeah, we have guests here, so we're very happy that
Yeah.
they're here.
Thank us.
Braving
That's
the
crazy
heat.
cool.
They're here now, which is probably the best thing to be.
This is the best time to come in the park. Somebody's asking, when's the best time to come to the zoo? Fall, winter. Summer, as early as possible.
But anyway.
Fun fact. Adaptations.
Had a great time. Hope you all learned some really neat adaptations in our number 4 adaptations. Thanks for joining us all today, everybody, for our Zoo Adventures every Wednesday at 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Once again, your team today, Leslie,
Steve.
and Brett. Oh, and
Oh, Teacher Lauren. Come on in, Teacher Lauren.
Say
Yay, Teacher Lauren. Hey, yay, Teacher Lauren. It's so much fun. It's always fun to bring in more folks to the episodes that we can. So yeah, tune in again. We hope to see you. Stay safe. Y'all be good. Bye now.
Bye.